We live in a world obsessed with instant gratification. We want success overnight, results at the snap of a finger, and rewards without the wait. But here's the truth. Focusing solely on the outcome is the fastest way to lose your joy, your motivation, and sometimes even your progress. What if I told you that success isn't found in the results, but in what you do daily, that your real victory is hidden in the process, the small, consistent steps you take toward a goal? Today, I want to remind you to shift your focus. Forget the scoreboard. Instead, fall in love with the process, and the results will come as a byproduct of your effort. Let's dive in. Embrace the process. Many people chase results as though their happiness and self-worth depend solely on the destination, but success is not a singular event. It's a continuous journey shaped by the steps we take daily. When you focus solely on the outcome, you miss out on valuable lessons and experiences that are essential for long-term growth. That's why it's crucial to shift your mindset and embrace the process. Imagine an athlete training for the Olympics. If they only fixate on winning the gold medal, their training sessions become riddled with anxiety and pressure. But when they immerse themselves in the daily grind, perfecting their technique, pushing their physical limits, and mentally preparing for the competition, they unlock the true essence of mastery. The joy comes not from standing on the podium, but from knowing they've given their best effort day after day. The process is where growth happens. It's where you develop resilience, discipline, and the skills necessary to thrive. Each setback becomes a stepping stone, and every small victory fuels your confidence. When you learn to appreciate the process, you stop measuring success by immediate results. Instead, you begin to measure it by your progress and dedication. A powerful example of this mindset can be found in creative fields. Writers, for instance, rarely produce a masterpiece on their first draft. The initial version is often rough and full of flaws, but by showing up every day, rewriting and refining their work, they eventually craft something remarkable. The same principle applies to any endeavor, whether you're building a business, learning a new skill, or working on personal development. One of the greatest benefits of embracing the process is that it frees you from the constant fear of failure. When your only concern is doing your best today, failure becomes less intimidating. If you don't see immediate results, it doesn't mean you're not making progress. It simply means the timing isn't right yet. By focusing on the process, you stay motivated because your satisfaction comes from the effort you put in, not the outcome you achieve. To put this into practice, start by setting process-oriented goals instead of result-oriented ones. For example, instead of saying, I want to lose 10 pounds, say, I will exercise for 30 minutes a day and make healthy food choices. Instead of declaring, I need to get a promotion, commit to improving your skills, networking, and consistently delivering high-quality work. These process-oriented goals shift your focus from what you can't control, the results, to what you can control, your daily actions. Another key aspect of embracing the process is practicing mindfulness. When you're fully present in each task, you notice the small details that matter. You take pride in your work, no matter how mundane or challenging it may be. Mindfulness allows you to appreciate the journey, and it helps you stay focused on what truly matters, progress, not perfection. Remember that success is rarely linear. There will be setbacks, delays, and moments of doubt. But if you trust the process and remain consistent, those challenges become part of your story, a story of perseverance and triumph. When you look back, you'll realize that the process itself was the most valuable part of the journey. The person you become through the struggle and dedication is worth far more than any single achievement. So, stop waiting for the finish line to feel fulfilled. Find joy in the effort, celebrate the small wins, and recognize that every step forward is a victory. Life is too short to live in constant anticipation of the results. Embrace the process, and you'll not only achieve your goals, you'll create a life rich with growth, learning, and meaning. Develop a growth mindset. In life, challenges and setbacks are inevitable. No matter how carefully you plan or how hard you work, Things won't always go your way. The difference between those who thrive and those who falter lies in one powerful factor: mindset. Specifically, having a growth mindset can completely transform how you approach difficulties and ultimately determine your success. A growth mindset is the belief that your abilities, intelligence, and talents are not fixed but can be developed through effort, learning, and perseverance. It stands in stark contrast to a fixed mindset, where people believe that their skills and intelligence are set in stone and that failure defines their limitations. By adopting a growth mindset, you empower yourself to see every challenge as an opportunity to learn and improve. Let's break this down with a simple analogy. Think of your mind as a muscle. Just as physical muscles grow stronger with regular exercise, your mind becomes more resilient and capable when you challenge it and push it to grow. If you avoid challenges and stick to what feels comfortable, your mental muscle remains weak and underdeveloped. On the other hand, facing difficulties head-on strengthens your problem-solving skills, boosts your confidence, and enhances your ability to adapt to new situations. One of the hallmarks of a growth mindset is the ability to view failures not as defeats, but as valuable lessons. Failure is never the end of the road unless you choose to make it so. When you adopt a growth mindset, you ask yourself, what can I learn from this experience? And how can I do better next time? This shift in perspective transforms setbacks into stepping stones toward success. Take the story of Thomas Edison as an example. When developing the light bulb, he famously encountered thousands of unsuccessful attempts, but instead of viewing those attempts as failures, Edison saw them as discoveries, ways that didn't work but brought him closer to the solution. His growth mindset allowed him to persist until he achieved his groundbreaking invention. To cultivate a growth mindset in your own life, start by changing the way you speak to yourself. Replace negative thoughts like, I can't do this, with, I haven't mastered this yet, but I can learn. The word yet is incredibly powerful. It acknowledges that growth is a process and that your current limitations are not permanent. Another way to foster a growth mindset is by seeking out feedback. Many people avoid feedback because they're afraid of criticism, but feedback is one of the most valuable tools for growth. When someone points out areas where you can improve, they're giving you a gift, an opportunity to become better. Embrace feedback with an open mind and a willingness to learn. It's also essential to surround yourself with people who encourage growth and challenge you to reach your potential. If you're constantly surrounded by individuals who have a fixed mindset and discourage learning, it's easy to adopt that same mentality. Seek out mentors, friends, and colleagues who inspire you to push beyond your limits and who celebrate your efforts to grow. Mindset isn't just about how you handle challenges, it's also about how you view the success of others. In a fixed mindset, someone else's success can trigger jealousy or self-doubt. But with a growth mindset, other people's achievements become sources of inspiration. You recognize that success is not a finite resource, and that their accomplishments simply prove what is possible. Practice gratitude for the progress you make, no matter how small. Growth is a journey, not a destination. Celebrate your efforts, your learning, and your persistence. Acknowledge how far you've come, even if you're not where you want to be yet. When you develop a growth mindset, you unlock your full potential. You stop being defined by failures and instead become fueled by possibilities. Life becomes a continuous journey of growth, learning, and improvement. So the next time you face a challenge, remind yourself that it's not a roadblock, it's an invitation to grow. Embrace the invitation, and you find that success becomes a natural byproduct of your efforts. Detach from immediate outcomes. In today's fast-paced world, there is an overwhelming desire for instant gratification. We live in a time where people want overnight success, immediate recognition, and quick results. But here's the harsh truth. The pursuit of instant results often leads to frustration, burnout, and disappointment. To truly find fulfillment and lasting success, you must learn to detach from immediate outcomes and instead focus on consistent effort and the journey itself. When you fixate on results, you place your happiness and sense of self-worth in something you can't fully control. Outcomes are influenced by countless factors, many of which are outside your hands. Market conditions, timing, other people's decisions, and unforeseen circumstances all play a role in determining whether or not you achieve a specific result. By tying your happiness to outcomes, you give away your power to external forces. On the other hand, detaching from immediate outcomes allows you to focus on what you can control: your effort, attitude, and consistency. When you channel your energy into these controllable factors, you reduce stress and stay motivated even when things don't go as planned. The irony is that when you stop obsessing over results, you often end up achieving better outcomes because you're more focused, creative, and resilient. Think of a gardener planting seeds. The gardener doesn't stand over the soil demanding that the seeds sprout overnight. Instead, they focus on nurturing the soil, watering the plants, and providing the right conditions for growth. They trust that, in time, the seeds will bloom into a beautiful garden. The same principle applies to any goal in life. Your job is to tend to your efforts with care and patience, trusting that the results will come in their own time. One of the key benefits of detaching from outcomes is that it fosters a healthier relationship with failure. When you're solely outcome-focused, failure can feel devastating and demoralizing. But when you're effort-focused, failure becomes a valuable teacher. You begin to ask questions like, what can I learn from this experience, and how can I improve moving forward? This mindset turns setbacks into opportunities for growth. Consider the story of countless successful entrepreneurs and inventors. Many of them faced multiple failures before achieving their breakthrough. If they had fixated solely on immediate results, they would have given up long before reaching success. What set them apart was their ability to stay committed to the process, learn from failures, and trust that their efforts would eventually yield results. Detaching from outcomes also helps you stay present and enjoy the journey. When you're constantly chasing results, you miss out on the beauty of the moment. Life becomes a series of deadlines and finish lines rather than a rich and meaningful experience. By focusing on the present and giving your best effort today, you create a sense of fulfillment that isn't dependent on future success. One practical way to apply this principle is to set process-oriented goals rather than outcome-oriented ones. For example, instead of saying, I need to lose 20 pounds, set a goal to exercise for 30 minutes a day and eat nutritious meals. Instead of saying, I must earn a promotion, focus on consistently delivering high-quality work and developing your skills. These process-oriented goals keep you motivated and grounded in what you can control. Another strategy is to practice mindfulness. When you find yourself obsessing over results, take a deep breath and remind yourself to return to the present moment. Focus on the task at hand and give it your full attention. This simple practice can reduce anxiety and help you stay aligned with your efforts. Cultivate a mindset of gratitude and self-compassion. Celebrate your efforts, no matter how small, and recognize the progress you're making. Be kind to yourself when things don't go as planned, and remember that success is a journey, not a single event. When you learn to detach from immediate outcomes, you free yourself from unnecessary stress and disappointment. You become more focused, resilient, and capable of handling challenges. And in the end, you often achieve even greater success because you're driven by passion and purpose rather than external validation. Trust the process, commit to your efforts, and let the results take care of themselves. The power of consistent effort. One of the greatest secrets to achieving success and personal fulfillment is consistency. It is not the grand gestures or occasional bursts of effort that lead to long-term success. Rather, it is the small, consistent actions repeated over time that create a significant impact. Many people underestimate the power of consistent effort because it often lacks immediate visible results. However, when you commit to showing up every day, even when motivation wanes, you set yourself up for incredible outcomes. Why is consistency so powerful? Because it builds momentum. Imagine a snowball rolling down a hill. Initially, it's small and slow-moving, but as it gains momentum, it grows larger and faster, becoming a force to be reckoned with. The same applies to any goal you pursue. When you consistently put in the effort, your progress compounds, and eventually, the results become undeniable. But here's the challenge. Staying consistent is not always glamorous or exciting. In fact, it's often tedious and requires discipline. This is why many people give up before they see the fruits of their labor. They start strong, fueled by excitement and motivation, but as the novelty wears off and progress slows, they lose interest and abandon their efforts. What separates successful individuals from the rest is their ability to persevere through these moments of doubt and monotony. To truly harness the power of consistent effort, you must first shift your mindset. Instead of focusing on immediate results, focus on the process. Ask yourself, what can I do today to move one step closer to my goal? When you break your goal down into manageable daily actions, it becomes less overwhelming and more achievable. Take, for example, someone learning to play the piano. If they practice for hours on one day and then skip practice for the rest of the week, their progress will be minimal. However, if they commit to practicing for just 30 minutes every day, their skills will improve steadily over time. This principle applies to any endeavor, whether it's fitness, writing, learning a new skill, or building a business. Consistency also builds discipline, which is essential for long-term success. Discipline is doing what needs to be done, even when you don't feel like doing it. There will be days when you lack motivation, when distractions tempt you, and when progress seems slow. These are the moments when discipline becomes your greatest ally. By staying consistent, you strengthen your ability to overcome resistance and stay committed to your goals. One of the keys to maintaining consistency is setting realistic and achievable goals. It's better to start small and build momentum than to set overly ambitious goals that lead to burnout. For instance, if your goal is to exercise regularly, start with 10-minute workouts and gradually increase the duration as you build the habit. When your goals are manageable, you're more likely to stick with them and maintain consistency. Another important factor is tracking your progress. When you track your efforts, you gain a sense of accomplishment and can see how far you've come. This reinforces your commitment and motivates you to keep going. Whether it's keeping a journal, using a habit tracking app, or creating a checklist, find a method that works for you and make tracking a regular part of your routine. Accountability can also play a significant role in maintaining consistency. Share your goals with a friend, family member, or mentor who can hold you accountable and provide encouragement along the way. Being part of a supportive community can make a world of difference in staying consistent. One of the most valuable lessons you can learn is to embrace the journey, not just the destination. When you find joy and fulfillment in the process, consistency becomes less of a chore and more of a way of life. Celebrate your efforts, no matter how small, and recognize the growth you're experiencing along the way. It's also essential to practice self-compassion. There will be times when you slip up or miss a day. Instead of beating yourself up, acknowledge the setback and recommit to your efforts. Consistency is not about being perfect. It's about getting back on track and continuing to move forward. Let's take a real-life example to illustrate the power of consistent effort. Imagine two people who want to write a book. The first person writes sporadically, waiting for inspiration to strike. They write in bursts, but often go weeks or even months without putting pen to paper. The second person commits to writing just 500 words a day, regardless of how they feel. Over time, the second person finishes their manuscript, while the first person remains stuck with unfinished chapters. This example demonstrates a crucial truth. Consistency beats intensity every time. Small daily actions add up to significant achievements. By focusing on consistent effort, you position yourself for success and growth. The power of consistent effort cannot be overstated. It is the foundation of personal growth, skill development, and long-term success. When you shift your focus from immediate results to daily actions, you build momentum, develop discipline, and create lasting habits. Remember, success is not about giant leaps, but about the small, consistent steps you take every day. Trust the process, stay committed, and watch as your efforts compound into extraordinary results. Trust the process. Success is a journey, not a single event. Yet in a world that constantly emphasizes results, it's easy to lose sight of this truth. We often see others celebrate their achievements, the big promotion, the thriving business, or the perfect physique without witnessing the countless hours of effort, failures, and lessons that paved the way. Trusting the process means understanding that meaningful success takes time, perseverance, and a focus on steady progress. But why is trusting the process so essential? Because outcomes are rarely within your complete control, while your daily actions are. Life is filled with variables, many of which you can't predict or influence. Markets fluctuate, people change, and circumstances shift unexpectedly. By placing all your focus on results, you invite anxiety and frustration into your life. On the other hand, when you trust the process, you anchor yourself in the present and take full ownership of the factors you can control: your effort, discipline, and mindset. One of the most important elements of trusting the process is setting clear intentions. When you embark on any journey, you need a roadmap. Goals give you direction and purpose, but the magic happens in the daily execution. Suppose you set a goal to run a marathon. The initial excitement may be high, but that alone won't carry you across the finish line. It's the daily training runs, the stretching, and the commitment to show up even on rainy mornings that will prepare you for success. However, it's natural to encounter doubts along the way. When progress seems slow or invisible, questions start creeping in. Is this even worth it? Am I on the right path? This is where most people falter. They give up just before the breakthrough. The key is to recognize that growth often happens beneath the surface, much like a seed planted in the soil. For a long time, there may be no visible signs of growth, but with the right conditions and consistent care, the seed eventually breaks through and flourishes. A powerful example of this is the story of bamboo. When a bamboo seed is planted, it remains underground for several years without showing any visible growth. During this time, it is developing a strong root system that will support its rapid growth. Once it finally breaks through the surface, it can grow up to 90 feet in just a few weeks. Imagine if the gardener had given up after the first year, thinking nothing was happening. The same principle applies to your efforts. Trust that your consistent actions are laying the foundation for future success, even when progress isn't immediately visible. Another critical aspect of trusting the process is developing resilience. Challenges and setbacks are inevitable on any journey. When you're focused solely on results, these obstacles can feel like failures. But when you trust the process, you view challenges as valuable learning opportunities. Every setback becomes a chance to grow stronger, more knowledgeable, and better equipped to handle future difficulties. Consider the story of Thomas Edison, one of the greatest inventors in history. When working on the electric light bulb, he encountered thousands of failed attempts. Yet he famously said, "I have not failed. I've just found 10,000 ways that won't work." Edison's unwavering belief in the process is what ultimately led to his groundbreaking success. To trust the process, you must also develop patience. In a culture that promotes instant gratification, patience has become a rare and valuable trait. But great things take time. Mastery, meaningful relationships, and lasting success are not achieved overnight. They require dedication and a long-term perspective. When you embrace patience, you free yourself from the pressure to achieve quick results and find peace in the journey itself. One practical way to cultivate trust in the process is to track your progress. Keep a journal or create a visual representation of your efforts. When you look back and see how far you've come, it reinforces your belief in the process and motivates you to keep going. Even small wins deserve to be celebrated, as they are stepping stones to greater achievements. It's also important to surround yourself with positive influences. Seek out mentors, friends, and role models who understand the value of the process and can offer guidance and encouragement. Hearing their stories of perseverance and growth can remind you that success is rarely a straight line. Another strategy is to focus on the present moment. When you find yourself obsessing over future outcomes or dwelling on past mistakes, take a deep breath and bring your attention back to the present. Ask yourself, what can I do right now to move forward? This simple question shifts your focus from worry to action. Practice gratitude. When you appreciate the journey and the progress you've made, you develop a more positive and resilient mindset. Gratitude helps you stay grounded and reminds you that the journey itself is a gift. To trust the process is to surrender the need for immediate results and place your faith in the power of consistent effort. It requires patience, resilience, and a deep understanding that growth often happens in ways we can't see. But when you commit to showing up every day, embracing challenges, and learning from setbacks, success becomes inevitable. So, if you're feeling discouraged because progress seems slow or invisible, remember this: keep planting the seeds. Keep nurturing your efforts. Trust that your consistent actions are creating a foundation for extraordinary growth. And one day, when you least expect it, you'll look back and realize just how far you've come. Success is not a destination, it's a journey shaped by the process. Trust it, honor it, and let it lead you to your fullest potential.